A partial United States government shutdown is now all but assured after United States lawmakers failed to break budget impasse. Mr. Trump, who has to sign off any deal, is insisting $5 5 billion in government funding they included to help build his long-promised United States border wall. Despite last-minute talks, lawmakers began to adjourn on Friday evening, without a new agreement in place. Funding for about a quarter of all United States federal agencies will lapse at midnight local time, 5 o'clock GMT Saturday. It means the Departments of Homeland Security, Transportation, Agriculture, State, and Justice will begin to shut down, and federal national parks and forests will also close. The partial shutdown, the third of 2018, will impact hundreds of thousands of workers. On Wednesday, a stopgap spending bill was passed in order to keep federal agencies open until late February, but the agreement did not include funding for Mr. Trump's wall. After a rare backlash from his supporters and hardline Republicans, Mr. Trump has now dug his heels in over the issue and is insisting $5 billion of funds must be included for him to sign it off. Under current rules, spending bills are approved in the House of Representatives with a simple majority vote. Mr. Trump's party currently dominates that chamber, but the Democrats are set to take control of it in January. The House has now approved the levels of funding Mr. Trump has asked for, but before it reaches the president, it also needs to be passed by 60 votes in the Senate, where Republicans only hold 51 seats. As tension escalated over the issue on Friday, the president vowed a very long government shutdown if Democrats continued to resist support. He also shared a graphic of his steel slat wall design for the wall. The renewed southern border wall was a key election promise for Mr. Trump. During his campaign, he insisted he would make Mexico pay for it, but the country has refused. The Democrats have also remained resolute that United States taxpayers should not pay for it. This week, Mr. Trump's supporters created a GoFundMe for the building process, an appeal that has so far raised more than $13.10 in just 4 days. After last-minute talks failed to reach a resolution on Friday night, members of Congress began going home and are expected to return to Capitol Hill on Saturday. In order to break the impasse, Mr. Trump has urged Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell invoke the so-called nuclear option, whereby policy can be approved in the Senate with a simple majority, instead of the 60 currently required, bypassing the need for bipartisan support. But Mr. McConnell has repeatedly refused in the past to invoke such an extreme legislative maneuver. A number of Republican senators on Friday also made clear their staunch opposition to the proposal. The midnight closure will be the third time United States federal funding have lapsed so far in 2018. A popular tourist attraction has become the latest Chinese company to show solidarity with Huawei's chief finance officer, Meng Wanzhou, who was arrested in Canada on 1 December. Shannon Mountain Scenic Park, in eastern Hainan province, said it would waive the $9.65 yuan ticket fee for anyone carrying a Huawei phone. Ms. Meng, who was given bail in Canada, faces extradition to the United States on charges of breaking Iran sanctions. Her case has upped tensions with China. Use Huawei phones. Shoot grand photos on the mountain. A notice on the Shannon Park's social media account said, "We wish friends around the world who support Huawei's success and bliss." The offer would last until 29 December. The South China Morning Post reported. but it was met with some criticism among China's social media users, who claimed it was discriminatory. Huawei phone owners are being offered other enticements too. They can get a 20% discount at a border in Beijing. Seen in Beijing, bring a Huawei phone and get 20% off. Similar to this story we covered yesterday, https://QUXL19YPQLPIC. Twitter.com Sokolov. End of Twitter post by @LuOceanG. At least one firm has threatened to penalize anyone buying Apple products. A few days ago, Manpad Shenzhen-based LED and display manufacturer offered subsidies to any employees buying Huawei phones. It also pledged to fine anyone who bought an Apple iPhone. United States prosecutors alleged Ms. Man
46
used a Huawei subsidiary called Skycom to evade sanctions on Iran between 2009 and 2014. They also alleged she publicly misrepresented Skycom as being a separate company from Huawei, and that she deceived banks about the true relationship between the two companies. Ms. Man, who is the daughter of Huawei's founder, has denied any wrongdoing and said she will contest the allegations. Life of Huawei's high-flying errors. The United States has been investigating the Chinese telecoms giant, the world's second-largest smartphone maker, since 2016, believing that it used Skycom to bring United States manufacturing equipment and millions of dollars in transactions to Iran in violation of sanctions. Ms. Man's detention comes amid an increasingly acrimonious trade dispute between Washington and Beijing. China is angry at her detention, saying she has not violated any laws. Beijing has threatened severe consequences unless Canada releases the executive. Since her arrest, 2 Canadians, a former diplomat and a businessman, have been detained in China on suspicion of harming national security. United States President Donald Trump said last week that he might intervene in the United States Justice Department's case against Ms. Man if it would serve national security interests. I'll help achieve a trade deal with China if I think it's good for what will be certainly the largest trade deal ever made, which is a very important thing. What's good for national security? I would certainly intervene if I thought it was necessary, he told Reuters news agency. Canada reacted by urging Mr. Trump not to politicize the situation. Our extradition partners should not seek to politicize the extradition process or use it for ends other than the pursuit of justice, Foreign Minister Chrystia Freeland said. A poacher has been ordered to watch the Disney film Bambi repeatedly after he was convicted of illegally killing hundreds of deer. Missouri hunter David Barry, Jr., must view the film at least once a month during his year-long sentence. He was arrested in August along with 2 family members for killing the deer, taking their heads and leaving their bodies to rot. Prosecutors said it is reportedly one of the biggest poaching cases in Missouri history. On top of the jail sentence of the illegal deer hunting, Judge Robert George ordered Barry Jr. to view the Walt Disney movie Bambi, with the first viewing being on or before December 23,
2018
and at least one such viewing each month thereafter. During his spell in prison, the 1942 cartoon about woodland creatures shows a hunt to kill the mother of eponymous deer character Bambi. The months-long investigation, spanning several states, led to the arrest of Barry Jr., his father David Barry, Sr., and his brother Kyle Barry, according to a local newspaper, the Springfield News Leader. While the total number of deer taken illegally is unknown, Lawrence County's conservation agent Tandy Barnes said it could be several hundred. Barry Jr. received a year-long sentence in Lawrence County Prison after pleading guilty to illegally taking wildlife. He has also been sentenced to a 1-to-0-day term in Barton County Prison for a firearms probation violation, and both he and his father had their hunting privileges revoked for life by the Missouri Conservation Commission. A popular tourist attraction has become the latest Chinese company to show solidarity with Huawei's chief finance officer, Meng Wanzhou, who was arrested in Canada on 1 December. Shannon Mountain Scenic Park in eastern Hainan province said it would waive the $9.65 ticket fee for anyone carrying a Huawei phone. Ms. Meng, who was given bail in Canada, faces extradition to the United States on charges of breaking Iran sanctions.